The real reason why Percy Tau did not come to Kaizer Chiefs. Where will Kang Samayo play at Naturena? What's holding up Morris's move away from Kaizer Chiefs? Why did Kaizer Chiefs not sign Zachmovich? Munyane has been called up to Bafana. Matlow's extension has been confirmed. And what has been missing at Kaizer Chiefs? Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. We are back. The flu is still there, but we are slightly better. So the first story is from the Sowetan, and they are saying that Percy Tau did not come to Kaizer Chiefs because of the fact that the two parties, and I quote, failed to agree on his salary demands. I think he was talking on Robert Marawa Percy Tau when he said that if Kaizer Chiefs came to him with 400,000, something like that, he would come to Chiefs, and Veleg would Kunika being the last rumor to be the highest paid player, Chiefs at 300,000. Those are rumors. 400,000 would have been definitely been higher than everyone else for Percy Tau. And Kaizer Chiefs, having seen what happened with Abo Dole, with Abo Piliat, with Abo Kune, these highest paid players not giving you what you'd expect, I think they've moved away from that business model of basically, because if you sign a superstar, then you have to pay them superstar money. So with Percy Tau, it seems like they said no. I'm actually surprised that they were even considering signing Percy Tau. I hope this is a lie because, well, I wouldn't be surprised if this was true. And the reason why I say that is because you see them signing Abo Mabue. Mabue is 30. You saw them signing Abo Sirino even last year, 34. Saw them this transfer window. They signed Umako. So it's not like they don't want to sign older players, because it does seem like they want to sign some players who will hit the ground running, because with these young ones, some of them still need time. But with experienced players, they are ready for pressure because they've kind of seen it all. Speaking of people who have seen it all, Kang Samayo is coming to Kaizer Chiefs, and we talk about him and we look at the position that he's played as a striker, but I don't think that he will be playing as a striker at Chiefs. I think that they will play him as a right winger and he will be cutting in. And this will make life much easier for Ulilepo as well, because one of the reasons why Ulilepo is still playing as a right winger is because there isn't like someone else who can play in that right wing position. And I've been saying the entire transfer window, for the most part, that I'm looking for a right winger and a defensive midfielder and a striker. And we've signed a lot of strikers, so I'm fine with strikers now. And now the main person that we need to sign is just a proper defensive midfielder who can do both, because Mteto can do one part and the other one he tries Shem, but he's just not that good at that. You understand? So that's the only thing. But even if they didn't sign a defensive midfielder, I think Chiefs would be fine. But if they could sign a defensive midfielder, then it would be much better. But back to Kang Samayo, I think that he's going to play as a right winger and cut in, because if you look at competition up front and you look at what Chiefs might be looking for, they'll be looking for aggression and someone who's physical, someone who will be able to press, someone who will be able to, be available aerially to be at the end of those balls as well. Like if you look at what Silva was doing, if you look at what Igodaro will be doing, because I think those will be the two, and Uduba as well, three main strikers. Upatman will probably be started as in those 15 minutes. But proper starters, I think it's Igodaro, Silva, and Uduba. Upatman is still probably going to start more games next season if he breaks through in that 9 position. But right now, Umayo as well, I don't see him going straight to being a number 9. But you guys can tell me what you think as well. Because he's also good in playing the ball. I saw him against Pirates as well when he was playing for Ipelujdad, right? He was played as a left winger, right winger, played as a 9, and then he just changed positions a lot. And he looked good in all of them. So I know that he can make a proper right winger. By the way, do make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 70,000. And this long walk to 70,000 is taking very long, because right now we're currently on 62,924. Can we get to the end of the month and just say 65,000? Like, I would be very happy. So the next story is on Morris. So Durban City have confirmed that they are looking to sign Utashrik Morris, right? And we know this. We know that Gavin Hunt is coaching Durban City, and he would love to have him a striker who's tall, who'd be at the end of crosses, who'd be physical in helping the mark. He's just a perfect player for Gavin Hunt. But apparently, Kaizer Chiefs are still thinking about it. I don't know why. I really do not know why. Because let him go, man. You have enough strikers. I just think that they're probably looking at how the deal would be structured. Because the reason why, by the way, teams like Pirates and Sundowns don't allow their former player or their players that they've loaned out to play against them is because they're literally still paying most of the salary. In most cases, like if you are Chiefs and let's say Morris gets paid 100,000, if he's getting paid 100,000 and it's a loan deal, in that loan he will probably get 60% of his salary, which is 60,000 from Chiefs, 40% from the team that they'll be loaning him to, which is 40,000. So it depends on how the loan is structured, and maybe Chiefs are considering that. How much money are we willing to continue paying for this guy? Or maybe should we just let him go? Or should we say it's a loan with an obligation to buy? But I think that they are very smart people. They should be able to figure something like this out very quickly. Which brings us to Uzenan Zachmovich. So Utim Sugas has revealed that the reason why Uzenan Zachmovich was released or was allowed to leave by TS Galaxy is that his family could not be issued with visitors' visas, and he's a family man. And he said that Uzenan Zachmovich said, if I don't have my family here, then I won't be able to perform. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this is a type of thing that Chiefs will be able to sort out. I'm still being greedy, by the way, thinking, Guti, at that time when we still needed a striker, because that was before Mayo, that was before Ikodaro's situation was sorted out. So I'm thinking, if Kaizer Chiefs wanted this player really, they could have pulled strings. I know the team, like, you see about Jessica, they will be close to ambassadors before we go to Netherlands. You see, these ones have connections, these ones. So if they really wanted Zachmovich, they will be able to say, look, man, we have a player here, he needs his family here. So, make things happen. I think a club like Kaizer Chiefs would be able to make that happen, but somehow, I guess they did not want him enough to move mountains for him in that way. Maybe they thought he's going to be homesick and then he's going to leave. So they thought it's too much trouble. So I could understand. Obviously, you have to assess the risk with every investment that you make. Which brings us to Umunyane. He's been called up to the national team. Good news. I think he deserved to be in the national team, but I also understand why I was left out. No, actually, I don't understand why I was left out. I do, in a way, because Umdunyelwa plays for Sundowns, and Sundowns' system and the way that the right backs of Sundowns are coached when they come to the national team, they basically almost doing the same thing up and down the flank, and Bruce wants them to do the same thing. But if you look at Munyane, he's more of a half-space player, and that's how he's asked to play at Kaizer Chiefs. So maybe that's what he was looking at as well. Because I've said this, I said this in a video of Gold, that one of the things that you want in the national team, you have 5 days to prepare for 2 critical matches. The last thing you want is players who still need to learn, players who still need to adapt, because you need people that need as little coaching as possible. You just tweak here and there. But if you have to change a whole not mentality, but a whole way a player is supposed to play when they're coming to the national team, then you have a problem. That is why, for the most part, it's rare for a player to come into the national team and all of a sudden they're starting. Like with Sipombule, it's because it was desperate times. Because if you think about it, there was no Tito, Uzwane is injured, and Mfukeng has not been on form. So now they had to play Umbule. But it's rare for a player who's never been called up to the national team to come in and immediately be a starter. Usually they get called up once or twice and then they start playing, things like that. So I think that it's a good thing that Munyane was in that short list. So I'm happy for him. Which then brings us to Matlo's contract. We've already known that the contract was extended, but now it's extended by 1 year. I think that this is a time for Matlo to extend his contract even further because he's still young. I think uMatlo Nangak, look at me Googling with how old is George Matlo. So he's still young, and with his age being on his side, with him being 27, right? He just turned 27. He can still, impress. He's physical. That's what the coaches want. That's why Umatlo plays ahead of Ngobo, because Umatlo is big, he's tall, he's able to commit on a tackle. If he stays fit, he can really impress the coaches, and they can give him another 2 years because, I think he fits the profile in a way that the coaches want him to play. And I was going to cover this, what was missing at Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm realizing that the video is too long. But I saw something that Brian Baloyi said. He said that it was the goalkeeping department. But I will also say that as much as the goalkeeping department was lacking at some point with Uvuma saving the ball back to the oncoming traffic, I also think that our rest defense has been much better. Rest defense is how are we set up to defend counters, right? Because basically you have the ball, but you are ready to defend if you lose the ball. That's your rest defense. It's like how your structure is to stop an attack should you lose the ball. For example, the Chiefs will be attacking with 5 people up front, and then the 2 just behind the 5, and then the 3 defenders at the back. Now they are making sure that the 2 last year would be marked and both of them would push up really close to the 18 area, and then there would be gaps. But now they are making Umthetwa stay deeper so that he can be there to cover. So that has also been a revelation. But the partnership between McCarthy and Miguel when we started, and now it's been Ukwinika no Miguel, that has worked as well. I've seen Miguel as well facing 2 people, 2 versus 1, and he was able to stop them. I think that we've dealt with transitions much, much better. The goalkeepers have done well, Peterson. You can't take anything from him. But also the defenders have also done their fair share. I think our rest defense, but also the individual moments of the defenders and the goalkeepers have really helped the team a lot. But what do you see at Kaizer Chiefs that has been very different this season? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember, Khosi Alpelumoy. By the way, you can become a member of the channel and help the channel to make more content by clicking join that is down here. Danko.